speaker on the panel, Pastor James.
Thank you. I commence this presentation in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It is difficult to have anything else to say when you come from the same office, the same country, doing the same work with the same people at the same time. It's like they have picked my brain and have spoken. So what else shall I say? But I will still venture to try to say a few words. In addition to what our Father in the Lord here has said, and our traditional leaders and experts on the issue of Nigeria coming from the professor. It is really important to just talk about what has been done and what has not been done, having given you an elaborate background on what is transpiring in the country. My presentation to those in the little boxes there shall not be read again. Rather, I will talk about what I have here, so probably you have to be patient with me to follow. It is a common knowledge that Christ was announced with the angel's song, peace and goodwill among humankind. Luke 2:14. Thus indicating the Christ who was born brought peace to human beings. In fact, Jesus is referred to as a Prince of Peace. If Christianity professes peace, Islam too, then the world should be experiencing double peace. But the reverse is the case, as you can see. Nigeria, as reported by Bertelsmann Foundation in 2008, is the most religious nation in the world. Most religious conscious nation in the world. You can market virtually anything in Nigeria using religion, and people will queue up for it. And so there is power vested in the hands of our religious personality. It depends on how they use it. It is one thing to be religious, and it's another thing to be godly. Many Nigerians are religious, many Nigerians are not godly. Having said this, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Why am I saying there is light? We have experimented in the Nigerian society some pragmatic models that have worked. Principal among them is the famous Kaduna Peace Declaration of Religious Leaders, where 22 clerics and clergies came together to sign a peace pact in 2002. And for 9 years, Kaduna knew peace until the unfortunate post-election violence of 2011, violence again broke out in Kaduna. We have also experimented another tool called the Shandam Peace Affirmation. In 2005, after the declaration of state of emergency in Plateau State, we were in Shandam area and we worked with people for 5 months. In our proposal, we were to go there 5 times, but we ended going there 14 times. And as I speak to you now, the Emir of Wase is a witness that violence broke out around that area, but Yelwan Shandam has remained peaceful up till this point. That is to say, religious leaders can take initiatives using what we call divine intimidation strategy, and it works. If you invoke divinity in the conclusion of any process, people hold on to it tenaciously, and that is why religion is important in the brokering peace. The war we are fighting in Nigeria is an ideological fight. We met Yusuf in 2007 in Bauchi. He came to our workshop for religious leaders, and he argued with my colleagues Imam Sani Isa. Then Imam was leading a team in Kano, and I was leading another team in Bauchi. From the Ishai prayer of 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. arguing that interfaith dialogue should not hold, that it is evil to do it. But at the end, because of spiritual argument, the learned Imam was able to convince Muhammad Yusuf that interfaith dialogue is important, and he took it, but said to him with a warning, learned Imams like you can continue, but don't make the other Muslim vulnerable to conversion. Muhammad Yusuf is not a ghost, but now he's dead. Shikau is not a ghost, he's still alive. Effort by the Interfaith Mediation Center to broker peace was not supported. I say it here because it's done and the people are dead, most of them have been killed. We met with 11 of their guys in Lagos. We tried to do a dialogue. They agreed to it, but when they get back to Maiduguri 2 weeks later, they were killed. Not because they came with us, it's because there was a state of emergency. Sometimes this kind of work is not to be made public, but here I make it because the people that were in that dialogue probably have all fizzled out, have been wasted. The issue of dialogue is possible. These guys, some of them are ready, but we do not know where the will remains. And I'm glad that our father here, who is a very important leader in Nigeria, the Cardinal John Onaikan, is listening to this and probably hearing it for the first time, that we have met with 11 commanders, but on the other side, they were not willing to come up, and they say no dialogue with the enemy. Nigerians, the Catholic has been in the forefront of interreligious dialogue in Nigeria as far back as 1963. Reverend Father Jack Jomia did that 71, 73, and 75. Other initiatives came back much later. If you have my paper, you will see the dates. Of course, the Catholic conference, Bishop Conference, now headed by the Archbishop here, had Father Chuku Lozier. Of course, I'm from the north, sometimes Southern names are tongue twisters. Organized a program, and there were those beats by prominent Muslims to bring about peace and relationship with the Muslim. Other denomination, the Anglican are doing well, but the main group that are not doing well are my group. I'm from the Assemblies of God Church, and we belong to the group we call Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria. We are still working. We need intra-religious deprogramming and reprogramming for the Pentecostal Fellowship in order to bring them in the limelight of interfaith dialogue. That is a very huge group that we need to work with. Of course, Pastor Ayo Risijefo recently also brought what he called Think Nigeria, which is a project on peace and conflict resolution, in order to bring some middle-level Muslim clerics to discuss about the Nigerian project. Of course, my colleague has said the most recent additional effort by Cardinal Onaikan and Sultan on the Interfaith Peace Initiative, which was well represented, well attended, and well broadcasted. Of course, he's working with the Sultan. There are quite a number of history about those that have happened, but what I want to say prominently now is that the President of Nigeria has urged Nigerians to join hands with the federal government of Nigeria to challenge the issue, to address the issues of the challenge of the insurgents. He made that call in Kaduna through the Vice President. There is a press conference now. The former President of Nigeria, General Babangida, on his birthday, also opened, cushioning the anxiety of Nigerians by stating that the issue of insecurity or security is of a large magnitude, so patience is needed. Of course, Obasanjo, who at some point were not quite in good terms, talking terms with the president, also went to visit the president at the invitation of the president of Nigeria to address issues of insecurity, which he said he will always avail himself to that. These are some of the challenges on the ground. Like he said, we met these 57 girls who were freed, and we have to fly over hostile zones. A flight was chartered so that we can get to the area where they were convening first, and secondly, we brought them to another city of Bauchi, where we did what we call interfaith psychosocial therapy, and they went home relieved. Quite a number of them are relieved. But I have information, because they call us, some other person through another network has told us that 2 of those girls died recently last week of snake bite, because the forest where they are kept is infested. I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, I will not want to bore you with too many recommendations. What I want to say, clearly speaking, that peace is possible, negotiation is possible, dialogue is possible. We are available and others are available. Our leaders need to come up. I want to say leaders like the cardinal is well respected among Muslims worldwide, not even Nigeria-wide. And if they can also comfort strongly to assist in this direction, they have been doing, we are happy to be errand boys to maximize that aura, that influence they have in the nation, to move Nigeria towards reconciling and negotiation. These guys are willing, but the last warning they gave, which I would want to share here, is that they called Imam Ashafa, my colleague, Imam, and told him in March, this is the last time we are giving the government of Nigeria, and if they don't do anything, we are going to strike in Abuja. Imam pleaded. The guy said, I just tell you because you are a respected Imam, I have been following your work on the media and you have not accused us. So if you blame them openly, they kill you. If you don't talk, you are okay. So he is okay because he has not openly accused them. But I think he had some stray bullets that went out, and that's why they came for him. But I think he has repented, and they know he has repented. Ladies and gentlemen, blessed are those who keep their presentation short, for they shall be invited to speak again. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor James, for the passion of your work and for being a peacemaker together with Imam Ashafa in Nigeria, and also for the news you gave us about the contact with the people that unfortunately then later on were killed. So.